Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm Gamesplaining Treasure Island. So I have set Treasure Island up as a 4-player game with the help of my delightful wife, who is going to be playing Long John Silver. So to start the game, Long John Silver will need to do a few things, and I'll talk through what needs to happen as it gets done. Okay, the first thing that Long John Silver will need to do is to place the treasure. So I can't see it, you can't see it. What is happening is she's putting an X somewhere on her little copy, which will look something like that, of the map. That is the point that every other player is trying to find. The next thing that she's going to do is go through this pile to find the sector that the little X has been placed in. That pile is called the district hints. She will remove the district hint that would actually give away where the treasure has been. And then in turn order, she will reveal one of those district hints to each player. So she'll just hand it across, but the other players are not to know this information. Okay, so the first one will come to the first player. The first player will look at that and then mark on his map which section is not the placement of the loot. Here is the next one, which will get marked on this board. So this is for the green player. As I am playing all of them, I'm going to do my best to forget information from player to player and just play with what I can actually see. So please bear in mind that I will desperately try not to carry information across. And this is the third one, which is that location there. Okay, now that that information has been handed out, we are pretty well right to start. The other thing to bear in mind is that this pile has been reduced to the number of players plus 3, which in this case is 7 cards. That will be for future stuff. So let's get started. The first thing that happens is this player moves to day 1. This little marker here means that we get a clue, and then it will be red player's turn. He'll only do 1 action at the moment. So the clues are in this pile. Long John Silver will have 3 of them from the start of the game, and we'll choose 1. The very first clue, which will go just there, has to be the truth. The card that has been dealt out is the Don't Lose Your Bearings card. We are playing with 4 players, or 2 to 4 players, which means you choose 1 miniature. For the miniature, we are revealing if the treasure is north or south of that particular miniature. Now this has to be the truth because the first one is always the truth. Okay, so the red miniature has been chosen and we're told that it's north of red. So everyone on their board can make exactly the same marking to show this is where red is, and it's going to be this way of that. So it can't be in any of those spots. So now that everyone has marked their board with those markings as indicated, red now gets to have a go. So red could move, could search, or could do one of their things that they're able to do. And what red thinks he might do right from the outset is this action. So he crosses that out to start with to show that it's happened. What that action allows him to do is for Long John Silver to hand him 2 more clue cards to say it's not in this area and it's not in this area. So they are this card and this card. That was some really lucky additions from Long John Silver because that's information that has already been handed out. Very impressive work. Okay, so red has taken his turn. It now moves around to green's turn, and green moves here. This tile is given to Long John Silver. That means that when a clue is given, that one can be put down face down, which means that this clue isn't necessarily the truth. Green then has his go. So if we look at the information that green has, it's not in this space. Green is standing here, so what he might do to start with is a small move and a small search. So to do a small move, we move his miniature out of the way, go from the center of that miniature. I'm coming this direction with his pen from the starting spot, draw a line and draw an X for where he's standing. Then he's doing a small search, which is that one. Okay, he's done his search. Long John Silver now needs to respond with a positive or negative. What should happen is this gets passed to the person who's played, which is green in this case. What should go inside of there is either, if he's got it correct, which I'm assuming not, but if he does happen to have it correct, there is a treasure token that would go in there and get handed to him. If he's incorrect, Long John Silver has the choice of handing across one of the other small treasures that he has. The reason he would do that is because when we get to the second part of the game, some of these cards have a little treasure. You cannot play that card unless the treasure has gone out. So, waiting for Long John Silver's response. I've had a no, and I haven't been given any extra treasures by Long John Silver, so we put him back on and we move on to the third day. Okay, blue moves to day 3, which is another day of getting some information. So Long John Silver will now look at those 3 cards that she has and play one of them. She now has a lie available. So the card she's playing could be a lie, it could be the truth, it could be a truth with the lie token. So the clue that has been played is position the big compass on a miniature of her choice, indicate 3 directions, the treasure is in one of them. So green has been chosen. Okay, 3 directions, the treasure is in one of those 3 directions. So we have chosen southwest, west, and south. That's not bad play because that is majority of the map. Now, if she's lying and the treasure's here, we're in trouble. But what that means is, assuming we're taking that as a truth, which is one of these 3 directions, we can now mark on everyone's map. So I don't think that's a lie. Might do that just with verticals, just in case. So we don't discount it totally because we assume. Okay, so blue now gets to have his go from where he's standing. So he thinks that all this space down here is not worth looking at. What he might do is a 6-inch gallop, and he can't go through any of the red zones, but what he might do is get himself to there. With the gallop, you don't have to do the full 6 inches if you don't wish to do full 6 inches. Okay, and moving on. It's now red's turn. Red moves his thing along to there, which now puts Long John Silver into one of the prisons. So what red needs to do is decide which one is furthest away from where he thinks the treasure is. And he thinks it's probably worthwhile putting him there to start with. Now Long John Silver's going to sit there for a while, but that's his position. Let's hope that the treasure is nowhere near there. I'm hoping the treasure's down here somewhere. Okay, red now has his go, and he'll do a small movement and a check. So he'll come 3 inches this way. He might actually check back on himself just in case. Okay, Long John Silver, is the treasure in the red circle? The treasure is not in that spot, so we keep moving on. It's now green's turn. You notice there's another clue to be added. So we'll wait for Long John Silver to give us that clue out of the 3 cards that he has in his hand. They'll go there with another token, say if it's a truth or a lie or a potential lie. Reveal 2 extra district hints of your choice to all pirates. There is no way of making that untrue. So that will need to be an honest token on it. And now Long John Silver will go through the pile of hints and find 2 and reveal them to everyone. These are the 2 hints, so everyone will get to mark them onto their board. Okay, it's now green's turn to actually make a move. As far as green can see, it's somewhere over this way. Green will do a small move and small check. He'll come across to here and do a small check. Long John Silver, is it in that space? That's a no. Moving on. Blue's turn. Blue gets 1 action. Blue is going to do a compass action, which is one of these. So what now happens is Long John Silver is going to look at the compass tokens, having a look at where blue is actually standing at the moment, which is here. On each of the compass tokens, there are 2 sections of black, 2 directions on black. That is telling us where the treasure is not. And once she's found one, she'll pass that across the lot to the player. So this is the card that's been handed across. That now gets marked on the person's map, which isn't a whole bunch of information. That's extremely well played from Long John Silver, but that's okay. The token is now moved to here, which now means that for the 3 cards that Long John Silver has, they get discarded and she trades them out with these 3 cards. They don't get played yet, they will get played next turn, but she has basically a turn to work out what they're saying if she wishes to lie on any of them. The other thing that happens from now on is each player is going to get 2 actions rather than just the 1. I think it's worthwhile Red actually doing a compass action. So Red will cross that off and ask for a compass piece. So this is the compass that's been handed to him. So he'll mark in. And that. I've got to believe it's down in this space. So what he might do for his second action is move this way and go for a small search. Okay, we've had a no and we've had a treasure piece coming across. What this one does is allows the player to have 1 free small search at some point during the game. Green's turn. There is one of the cards to be played right now. On the card that has been played, the questions will be asked and then an information token will be put down to say if it's the truth or lie that she's telling. Confession. Each pirate can ask you 1 question which can be answered yes or no. State and answer publicly 1 of these questions, which means each of the 3 pirates will gain some form of knowledge. This pirate, starting over here, will ask, is the treasure buried inside of the blue dotted line? This pirate is going to ask the same question, and this pirate is also going to ask that same question. Yes or no, is the treasure buried inside the blue 2-mile line from the seashore? There's a yes, it is inside the line. Okay, so this player with that bit of information is going to use one of his actions to actually check if that is a truth or a lie, which means he pulls that to see what was said, and then he will mark all the way around. And this player, as his second action, will do a move in towards the middle and do a small search. We've had a no on that search as well. Okay, I think you get an idea of how the game plays and how it's going to continue playing until we get to the end. For those of you who wish to know where the treasure actually is, the treasure is there, which means that this was a lie straight from the outset. I've got to say, well played, my darling. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplayed, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaying. And until next time, enjoy gaming.